everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader and welcome to the train room for another update on my Brooklyn Park layout and also just a general update on what's been going on with me with model railways. So probably the first thing that you're going to notice on the layout, and we'll look at it in a bit more detail, is we have a back scene, and there was quite a story to that. So this is been done by using ID back scenes. I use the non-self-adhesive one, if you know what I mean. I originally glued it up, but unfortunately I got lots of bubbles, which just looked awful. So I had to bite the bullet, rip it all down, and get some more. Now, luckily, they come in packs with 2 5-foot lengths, and I needed about 15 feet to do the whole layout. So I'd used 1.5 packs, so I still had 1/2 pack, which meant I was able to just get another pack for the rest of the layout. But we'll have a look at that in a moment. Also, I've done a little bit of work on the raised section, but we'll go through that when I take you to the layout. But the other thing that I really wanted to mention was the fact that in the last week or so, I've joined the NMRA. Now, for British viewers who may not know what that is, that's the National Model Railroad Association. Now, in America, the NMRA sets the standards for model railways. So you will see that certain things, it's like with DCC decoders, all DCC decoders are compliant with certain NMRA standards. So that's why when you go in and you program your CVs, there are certain CVs that no matter what type of decoder you have, they are all the same. And that's because the NMRA set the standard and they've just decided around the world to follow that standard. It's only a core, so it's things like the acceleration, the deceleration, your 3-point speed curves, CV29 for your setup of the decoder, and a few others. But what the NMRA do is they set things like track gauge standards, wheel standards, that kind of thing. Have you ever noticed how virtually every American product, the couplers are the right height? I mean, occasionally you'll see them out a little bit, especially on older models. With newer models, they are all at the same standard height, and the NMRA does that. The NMRA has what they call regions. Britain has its own region, and so I've joined the British region of the NMRA, and I look forward to getting a little bit more involved with them over time. They have an annual conference, so you never know, I might make it to that next year. So let's move over to the layout and let's have a look at all the bits and pieces that I've done with it. Okay, so we're starting at this end of the layout, and as you can see, the raised area now has fencing, which is the Woodland Scenics chain link fencing, which it's a little bit pricey, but I think it looks really good. I do want to add a little bit of weathering to it. Someone did note on one of my Facebook post that it should have a lot more rust on it, so we will do that. You can also see that we have the ID Backscene Sky Backscene. This is now stuck up with double-sided sticky tape, the new one. So there are no bubbles. There's a couple of areas where it isn't exactly flat, but I can live with that. You'll also notice here behind my tenement buildings, there is some background buildings. Now, these are free downloads from a company called Trackside Flats. I will put their email address, their website address down below. And they produce downloadable scenic flats, which are really, really helpful. They're photographic. So you can see here, so this one just here is actually one of their N-gauge. So they do two or three, I think it's 3 free downloads, one in N, one in HO, and one in O. And what I did was, so this is the N-gauge one, but I actually increased the size of it when I printed it, and it makes a perfect backdrop because it's actually a slightly smaller scale than what's in front. And then when we move over here, we've got the HO scale one. So this is printed up at the 1:1 scale. I might actually shrink it slightly and print it slightly smaller so that it again gives that impression of being in the background. As we move around here, you can see I've got some graffiti tags which I've just done with paint pens. I'm just going to move this train out of the way, because something that I have done is under the bridge I've put a mirrored piece of plastic. Now yes, it does reflect the cars that are just sitting there waiting at the barriers, but it does, when you give it passing glances, it just gives that extra depth behind there. So rather than me put some kind of back scene under there, which would actually be quite dark, you've got that there. Now, moving up here, we've got the basketball court. I've moved the flag up here, and this building here, the back of a kit that I had mocked up for the layout, isn't going to live there, because again, somebody gave me a suggestion on what I can do with this area, and they suggested that because there's the basketball court, I could put a school there, which I love the idea of. And I've looked at a load of the public schools in Brooklyn on Google Maps, and I found one that I quite like the look of, that I should be able to kit bash, and it'll fill up this entire corner up here, up to about here, with a little bit more of the playground, as it were, just there. And if I make it high enough, that should then fill that kind of corner gap, which will be quite nice. So let's just sweep around so you can see the rest of it. So again, I haven't done any more work over here. Just one thing with the CSX GP38-2. So this was an Athearn Genesis that I bought brand new and was fitted with Tsunami sound. One thing I did notice, it was a little finicky on my track. Now my track's pretty good and I keep it pretty clean, but it does get dirty quite easily. So I've actually fitted one of Soundtrax's own Stay Alives. They call them Current Keepers. They have the Current Keeper 1 and the Current Keeper 2. The Current Keeper 2 is shorter, but it's quite chunky and it wouldn't fit in there. But the Current Keeper 1 sits just nicely, just under here, on top of the decoder. And it's just ironed out all of the problems that I was having. Not that I was having huge amounts, but there we go. Swinging around again, you can see the back scene. You know, there is the inevitable line in the sky where we've got a bit of a join. I will try and find a way of hiding that a little bit better. And then we come over here into the corner, and you can see in the scrapyard I have the new loader, which needed a little bit of work doing to it, but that's now finished. It is just going to be posed in one position, but my next job for that is to do some weathering with it. We also have my Macamalt Logistics, little problem there with the sign, so I'm going to work on that. But this will be the first building to actually be semi-permanently in place on the layout, mainly because it came off of my old layout. It's got lighting, and that will, you know, that's almost ready to go. So I've drilled a hole so the wires can go down and meet up with the power bus for the lights. And there we go. There's the rest of the back scene. Got a bit of a line at the end there, which I need to sort out, but that's just all to do with framing, etc. You can also see on this particular bit, it doesn't quite reach the bottom. And I think it just goes to show you how old houses like this don't always make everything line up straight as you want them to. So for me to get the kind of neater join at the back, I needed to kind of fiddle it and fudge it a little bit. But do you know what? I'll live with that. those bits can be covered up by various bits of scenery. So there we go. That is the layout update. Okay, everybody, that's this week's update for Brooklyn Park. I've got no shows to announce that I'm going to. There doesn't seem to be many more for the rest of the year. I'm sure there are plenty going on where you are. There's just not any around here in Essex. We've done the bulk of them for this year. But you know, as soon as the season starts again, I will be out and about back in the shows. The weather's been really bad, as you may know, over here in the UK for a bit. So I haven't been able to get out and about and film any trains, but as soon as I get the opportunity, I will. I am going up to London in a couple of weeks' time, so hopefully we'll be able to get some footage then. So that's it. One thing I would like to say, so as of making this video, I have 499 subscribers. I just need one more and I reach 500. What does 500 subscribers mean? Not a lot. It's not as if it's going to suddenly magic it so that I make any money out of the channel. But it's a big step for me to reach that 500 mark. For those of you that have been with the channel for, you know, since I've started, you'll remember that about this time last year, I had less than 300 subscribers. So it's been really great that in a year, I've managed to get 200 subscribers. So I hit 300 just before New Year last year. This year, well before New Year, I've hit 500, or hopefully I will do after this. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could hit 600 by New Year's Eve in less than 2 months? I don't think that's going to happen somehow, but I can dream. I can dream. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, post them below. I will try to answer as many as I can. I get lots of nice messages from most of my mates that I've made through this and Facebook and Instagram. So it's always nice to get, you know, a welcome comment. And if there's any suggestions that you've got, as I said, it was somebody through social media that suggested about doing the school in the corner. And it's a great idea. And I'm really looking forward to being able to find a kit that I can kit bash and do that. So post your comments below. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. But anyway, this is Steve, the British Railroader, saying goodbye for now from my model railway room. Bye-bye.